In this audit, the auditor is undertaking a surveillance audit at the central location of a client in a corporate scheme. The opening meeting has been undertaken with the central quality team. Watch this video and determine if the auditor is complying with the Rule 6 edition requirements.
Good morning again. Thanks for the overview of the changes that you gave in the opening meeting. First of all, I'd like to review your global quality manual and review the changes that you made when we were in the opening meeting.
Right. Is electronic okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
The minor changes, one relates to changes in the organization structures you can see here. We moved from 3 regions to 4 regions, mainly due to the acquisition what we had in Africa. We've updated the high-level organization chart in the manual, as you can see here, but the changes do not affect the high-level quality management system processes. Our plan is to integrate the newly acquired sites into the corporate schemes in the next year or so, and then apply to you for certification for the new sites.
Okay, so thanks for the update. Any other changes?
Yeah, so we've now established a supply contract directly with Geely Group, as you can see here. Before, we were an indirect supplier through a first tier. So our legal team reviewed the proposed customer-specific requirements, as you can see here, and we replied to Geely with some proposed changes, which were agreed. So we added the new CSRs in the matrix, as you can see here, in the annex to the manual, and updated the relevant corporate processes.
Right, okay then. So how do those changes get communicated to the sites and to the remote support location?
Right, so you can see the outline here. Each site has a QMS representative. We communicate the change not to them, along with the agreed CSRs and change processes. Then we review, and if applicable to their site, communicate the relevant site process owners. We get acknowledgments in our system, as you can see here, stating that they have received and read and understand.
Right, okay, thank you. So I'll communicate this after the audit to the other auditors who are going to be auditing the sites certified on the corporate scheme. Can we move on to internal audits? Can I see the overall internal audit program for system audit?
Yep, 1 minute. Let me just go here. Okay, here it is.
Thanks. I can see all the sites are included. Why do these sites have a higher audit frequency for some processes?
So we create the plan at the end of the year for a rolling 3 years, with the first year fixed and the other 2 tentative. We review overall site performance, as you can see here, as a part of the corporate management review, and then based on this, we use the risk-based model to decide on frequency.
Oh, okay, good. So what about system audits at the central location?
Okay, so you can see here they're included in this program. The audits are carried out by the qualified auditors from one of the sites, which typically is a good experience for them.
Oh, right, okay. So I can see the last audit was done by Alice Jones. Can I see the auditor qualification records, please?
Yeah, 1 second here. Let me open this. So we keep a central record of all qualified system auditors. At a minimum, they have to undertake 3 training days and exam. Here's the certificate right here. And then we have a requirement for all system auditors to undertake a minimum of 2 audits per year, and we track that based on the audits completed. Right now you can see she's done 3 in the last 12 months.
Okay, thanks. Can I see the audit report for the last audit then, please?
1 minute. Okay, here it is. So you can see all relevant processes undertaken at the central location and are undertaken in one audit to save time. No nonconformities were raised in this audit. We do track each site and standalone remote support location and ensure that any nonconformities are closed in the defined timescale.
Yeah, thanks. I saw a summary of that as part of the planning that you sent in. What about manufacturing process audits and product audits?
Okay, so these are planned by the sites, but we don't do that through this system. They have access to audit program and audit records, which I can show you.
Okay. No, they'll be audited at the sites. Let's move on to your policies on climate change. Our certification body communicated the ISO 9001 amendment. Can you arrange for the relevant persons to take me through this and what your policies and actions related to it?
Yeah, so that's managed by a team at this central location. So I'm glad you raised this. At some of the sites, the auditors have been asking about this. Although there's a site representative, all policy improvements related to climate change are managed here, as you can see. And I'm hoping you can communicate that to your auditors.
Yes, I will do. Now let's take a short break then, and then we can go and see the team. I think it's a good time to do that because we're still on track against the agenda.
So let's summarize. In a corporate scheme, it is a requirement that a corporate client has a central location that manages the quality management system, including managing the internal system audit program. This could be located at a manufacturing site or a remote support location. It doesn't have to be at the organization's headquarters. In this audit, the auditor stays focused and audits the processes undertaken at the central location, including but not limited to the management of customer-specific requirements, change control, and the internal audit program for system audits. The auditor also asks the client how they have addressed the ISO 9001 requirement related to climate change. In most corporate clients, this will be managed centrally. In this case, the client mentions that some auditors are trying to audit these policies at site level. In a corporate scheme, it's important that the certification body has an auditor, sometimes called a client manager, who is responsible for communicating with auditors, undertaking audits at sites and remote support locations in the client, and making it clear what processes are applicable at the central location and which processes are relevant at the sites and any remote support locations.